Hey traders from around the world, it's Jeremy Alexander Newsom with reallifetrading.com. We are checking out the broader markets right now, and today the bulls were on parade, ironically enough. The SPY closing up 3.2%. This is a massive close above yesterday's high. Like, this is a big deal. At least I think. I don't know exactly how strong the bears are going to be from here, at least for the next day or two. I mean, you got just a really good level there. Again, this is going to be like a really nice trend line that forms. So if we break out over the next 2 or 3 days, I just don't see specifically why we can't go a little bit higher. I mean, we're going to run into the 20 any day now, but we start breaking through the 20. I mean, I don't know. Looks like the bouncing is working on getting in, ladies and gentlemen, at least for a period of time. The monthly chart, I mean, you're going to have a nice, strong lower shadow at this point, which just based on technicals looks really reminiscent of 1987. But again, I know we're going to have some more economic shifts and impacts and cycles and fluctuations that are going to occur in the future. The only question is how largely will they impact the market? That part I do not know, but I'm just going to wait and see what we get. Tomorrow and the next 2 or 3 days will be very interesting, because the only way I see us breaking down bearish is we're going to have some really strong gap downs or some good closes, at least this week for us to break down. Otherwise, I think we're going to go a little bit higher, ironically enough. Here's the Qs, and if you type in QQQ, Qs, very good close on the Qs today. Again, bearish upper candle, bearish gap and go yesterday. Today was a bullish gap and go, closing above the high of this candle. I mean, wow, like that really is quite strong. So if the Qs gap up tomorrow or start breaking above the high of 193, I just don't entirely see why we can't go a little bit higher on the Qs, especially after today's close. Again, I'm not saying we can't roll over and go lower eventually at some point, but for this week or for the next few days, it just kind of seems like most of the fear is over right now, and we're getting some bouncing out there. It looks pretty strong, as crazy as that might sound. That's at least what I'm seeing at the present moment. Now, I did have a lot of good requests for today, so let me go ahead and pull up some of the stocks that were requested. Had a lot of requests for ticker symbol O, Realty Income. And Realty Income, this is a long-term REIT, so check out this weekly chart. Weekly chart on Realty Income. I mean, huge pullbacks. But this is everything, right? Everything has massive town pullbacks. And this thing went all the way down to 40. Really good support through in a huge level. A lot of traders, people, and investors are worried about commercial real estate, people losing their jobs, not paying the rent. And I'm certainly not saying that that can't happen. And I'm sure that that's going to have some type of impact. Looking at O, today's candle is an actually decent close. So the way I would kind of play this one, if I was looking at shorting it, is you had this inverted hammer yesterday. So I'd probably look to short on a pullback against the low of yesterday's candle with a stop above the high of today's candle on ticker symbol O. Now, this could end up being a double bottom right here, and we're just retesting the neckline. So it's one of those situations where perfect location, really good wave rotation. We're either going to roll over or we're going to bounce on Realty Income. I don't know which one, but if you are looking at shorting real estate, this could be an opportunity or a play for you. Long term, I still like it a lot. LAUR, getting tons of requests for this one because I did make a post on Laureate Education way back when that if Laureate doesn't make a new high up into that 25 area by June, then I'm going to shave my head bald. Well, it looks like there's going to be a really good chance that's not going to happen, that we're going to make 25 because, obviously Laureate Education absolutely tanked and had to get out of this long position a while ago, mostly because, look at it. Like, it got murdered. It broke below all support, gap down, and thinking to myself, okay, well, they're obviously going to close schools. They're going to close colleges. People aren't going to be going to school anymore. Therefore, revenue will drop, and yes, short-term expenses will decline a smidge, but there's no reason to be in this bullish anymore. So right now, the only position that I have on Laureate are some out-of-the-money calls for September at 22.50, but I bought those with an absolute zero position, and I'm pretty much at my absolute zero on LAUR. Long-term, again, still fundamentally a very good company. This is the monthly chart. Just looks like everything else. I mean, it's hard to find a particular stock that doesn't look like all the rest. Here's ACGL, Arch Capital, really nice pullback You're talking a huge, like megalithrically massive pullback from almost 50 all the way down to almost 20, 53% pullback in a month. But I mean, hey, there's some insanely large companies that are doing that all the time. So here's the daily chart on Arch Capital, and we had a trader who played this one bullish after the beginners trading class. Saw this little hammer candle right here, went long above the high of that candle just like that, with a stop loss below the low of that candle just like that. And he's up handsomely and he's all excited and smiling about it. It's a great trade. Really nice bounce, really nice hammer candle. Really started with this one white soldier candle that came in on March 24th. Then the next day had the hammer-ish type of candle. Really good break above and just a good close. So from here, I would have to say that this makes very logical sense, that 31.82 price point on ACGL for a next target, especially with today's close. One swing trade that we were able to exit today was TNK. And TNK, you'll notice there's the perfect hammer on March the 26th. That was Thursday. So we set up our swing trade on TNK to get in above the high of that candle, to stop below the low of that candle, and we sold it today for a really handsome gain. So that was TNK swing trade that we played based on the hammer candle. Really nice little move, decent little trend, and believe it or not, this one's trying to kind of recover some. Here's the weekly chart. You've had some really massive sell-offs, but you are, at least for the time being, above some long-term moving averages. We'll see what happens come Tuesday or Wednesday on TNK. We're going to be keeping it on our list to see if we end up playing it again, but for right now, it's just kind of hanging out and doing its thing. All right, Square was the last of the reviews, and for Square, what's really interesting is Square is actually holding above its weekly 200 simple moving average. So if I come back to the weekly, this red line is the weekly 200 simple. You got a big bearish breakdown. Everyone in the world's scared. No one uses Square anymore. And then boom, the very next week we close right above that high, trapping all kinds of bears. And I did attempt a bearish day trade on Square today, but it just simply did not work. And that's okay. Really good setup though. Here is the 5-minute chart. And the 5-minute chart, if I kind of zoom in, you'll kind of see how I played Square. Nice bullish high wave candle. We closed below it. I shorted on the retest, and I had one opportunity to get out for a little bit of a gain right here. Was hoping just in case Square rolled over, I would stay in that, but it obviously did not. Broke higher, got stopped out, lost on Square, but a small amount, and then we just slowly grinded a little bit higher on ticker symbol SQ. Relatively and realistically, I still like this company bullish. This is the daily chart, and you're just battling the 20 EMA right now, but for the most part, we're going to be going a little sideways for a bit, because now you're stuck below the 100 moving average and above the 200, so we're going to kind of chop around. Trade up to here, trade down to here, trade up to here, trade down here. It's going to just be a little choppy for right now. But I think most of the selling, at least presently, is done on Square. I don't specifically see how today's price action is massively bearish. The only thing that's going to change my mind is a huge gap down tomorrow on the market. Otherwise, for the next few days, I'm going to be keeping an eye out on some bullish trades and then see if I have an opportunity to sell high and buy low on some of these positions. Day trading is going to be amazing. Swing trading, I mean, really is good as long as you can catch a nice little move. TEVA is one that we're in bullish on right now. So TEVA, we got a bullish setup on it. Very nice close today. I love this close. So might take a small gain on TEVA, but we got in bullish on the 24th of March with that bullish gap and go. Love the candle, love the close, above all that resistance. Might take a small position off at like $9 and then increase the stop. But TEVA looking good. And we also have a swing trade on Logitech that has not triggered yet. This is a beautiful gap and go. Keep this one on your watch list. Phenomenal retest gap right here. We did retest. We did trade sideways. I love the gap. I'm just going to try to see and leave our order open and find out if Logitech comes back and fills the gap and then bounces. So I'll probably leave that one open for 2 or 3 days. But LOGI, phenomenal. Look at this perfect pennant pattern. Higher lows, lower highs, high wave candle. Just a great gap today on LOGI. Here was your 5-minute chart, and again, not the greatest volume in the world on LOGI, but you can kind of see an okay looking trade. more or less swing trade worthy, and one to at least keep your eyes on with that bullish gap and go. One last bullish gap and go that a few traders did very well on today in the morning room was DocuSign. DocuSign, you had the hammer from the Elysian fields of profit yesterday, aka Friday. A lot of people will be using DocuSign in their home. At least I imagine that's going to be something that's going to happen more and more. Really good close, really good gap, strong candle. Man, and if you turn on the indicators, I mean, all trends point to bulls on DocuSign, daily, weekly, all of it. So this is a company that's still really holding up well, showing strength amidst a pretty tumultuous market. Buy the dip, great gap today. DocuSign, be a bull, at least for right now. All right, team, that about sums it up for me. We'll find out what happens over the next 2 or 3 days, but it's looking a little bit bullish out there. I will see you all on Wednesday for your next stock review. If you have any stocks that you want me to look at for you, make sure to post them in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to check them out. All right, you guys rock. Bye.